Hi, I'm Everett and welcome back to the shop. This time it's not really anything as far as machining. We're going to pause the shaper for this video as far as work getting done on it. I haven't really done an update type video in a while. I have a few things that have come in from some other people, and some things that other people have given me that I just wanted to give a little bit of a description of, and public thank you for. And as well, one fun thing is this fun little corner of YouTube, this one little drop in the ocean known as YouTube. I hit 5,000 subscribers a few days ago. It was 5,000 and change when I checked a little while ago. And well, honestly, I think it's kind of fun. When I started this channel, I didn't know what would happen with it. I figured I was just doing it, and a lot of it I'm just doing it for my own enjoyment, and I'm glad that some of it, people around the world find the stuff I do interesting. So again, I just wanted to say a thank you to everybody who has hit subscribe. I know I get a lot of people who just happen to come through and they don't subscribe, and I mean, that's cool too, if they're as long as they're enjoying what's there. And it's been really cool getting to hear from others and some of the different comments that have come in, some of which were actually useful criticism. I do appreciate those things, like where I was using the wrong term for something, or if there's a way I could improve my process on something. I actually quite appreciate those, so not a problem with those. Got a few trolls too, but that's just life. You just deal with them. But it's yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I just want to say thank you to everyone who wants to come by, the regulars, the new people, the people who are just transient and coming through. That's totally cool. Yeah, I just wanted to say thanks to everybody. And because we've hit another, well, what I would consider a small milestone, we're going to open up another draw. Now, 5,000 subscribers I know is nothing huge in YouTube, but to me, I'm actually really tickled that it's that many people who want to come hang out. So with what we're going to do for a draw this time is for not just one, but I'm going to do 2 micrometers. The reason being, these came in one of those lots of lot of whatever, and you bid on it, and sometimes I get in on them, sometimes they get bid right out of my price range, and I just let them go. This one actually I got in on, and it was a batch of micrometers of various different types. I was able to use a couple of the other ones for my own stash. They're specialty ones, but these 2 were in the stack as well. They're vintage. I mean, they're a few years old. Yeah, can go that way, I guess. They're start 436, old school micrometers, 0 to 1 and 1 to 2 inch. So these are up for grabs for this contest. And again, I'm just drawing names out of a, well, it was out of a hat, but it's getting to be a bucket now. And all you have to do to enter is just email me with your full name. Again, I'd need a first and last name, if not a middle would help too, but just send me your name in your email. It's fun to hear about you, where you're from and what you're up to. That's kind of cool. I've gotten to know a number of people through the draws. Yeah, email me. I'll put my email address in the description below. Otherwise, it's everettsworkshop@gmail.com. If you've entered before, like always, your name is still in the bin. It's always good to hear from you, even if your name is in the bin, that's fine. But yeah, these are, there's a 436 0 to 1 and 436 start 0 to 2. They both move nice and freely. I've checked them against my blocks. They seem to be pretty good. So yeah, still very usable micrometers for somebody's home shop. So now the draw will be taking place on Saturday the 24th of August 2019. I'll be taking emails with names up until about noon-ish, Mountain Daylight Time. If he comes in if I don't get around to printing them off till an hour later and one comes in right then, sure, I'll throw it in the bin. I'm not that uptight. But yeah, next Saturday, August 24th, 2019, noon-ish, Mountain Daylight Time. Get your name in. What do you got to lose? I have mailed stuff all over the world, literally, so if you're, wherever these wind up going, if I can legally mail to your country and your name gets pulled, it's yours. So again, it's just one way of saying thank you to everybody who wants to come hang out at my channel with me. It's like I say, this has been a lot of fun so far, and just kind of see where this goes. So the other thing I wanted to do with this this particular video is, again, as I say, thanks to a few people who have sent stuff in, and show a couple cool tools that I've been able to acquire through various means. And yeah, as I say, I don't usually do lots of show and tell sort of stuff. A lot of my gear is pretty generic, so it's not quite the same that way. But I have had a couple fun things come in that I think you may find interesting. So what I'll do is I'll set the camera up on the bench over here, and we'll go through them. Like I was saying before, I don't often do show and tells of some of my gear. I know I've shown a couple things I found at garage sales or various different things, but I don't do a whole lot simply because of the fact that a lot of the gear I have is pretty generic. However, there have been a few things over the last actually a couple months that people have given me, or I've found or bought or whatever, that maybe other people haven't seen as much of, and so I might or it was such a good deal I couldn't say no. So I figured I'd bring that in on this one, seeing as we're taking a break from the shaper anyway. But the first thing I want to do is I've heard from a few other people on YouTube, as far as in the hobby machining community here, about how people are willing to share and are actually quite generous in if they have extra gear, different things. I want to send out a huge thank you and a shout out to Yuchol Kim from Woods Creek Workshop. I don't know if you all saw a few weeks ago when my Panasonic camera took a header and it got snagged up in a snarly chip, and totally my fault. Yeah, I should have worked with a better safety attitude than I did. I should have been keeping a track of the chips and where the power cord was, but that was totally my fault. Object lesson right there in an example of what not to do. However, Yuchol apparently has upgraded his camera equipment recently, and he offered me this one. This was his old camera that he was using, Canon Vixia, and it takes a really good picture. I've already been using it a bit for some of my secondary shots and things. I just wanted to properly and publicly thank Yuchol. He's an awesome guy. Been very sharing in some of the cool ideas he's got too, and if he sees something that I haven't seen yet, he'll let me know. His channel is called Woods Creek Workshop, as I say. There will be a link in the description below. Definitely go check his channel out if you haven't yet already. He's really neat guy. So anyway, again, thank you very much, Yuchol. I really appreciate this. This is a huge help for me. It's as I say, it even takes a better picture than my old Panasonic did, so it's actually an upgrade for me. So thanks, man. One other cool thing that happened in the last couple 3 months here, that in amongst the shape or whatever, my father-in-law found this little unit at a garage sale some years ago. Didn't really know what to do with it, so he said, "Here, you take it. Maybe you can figure out what it's for." For those of you who have never seen these, it's called an Eclipse magnetic holder, and I mean, it's British patent 522 rather, made in Sheffield, England. So I mean, obviously a decent piece of gear. Got some dings and stuff on the edges, and from what I gather from the research I've done, is these are jigs, or made for jigs for holding stuff together for welding them. So say you had a couple pieces here that you wanted to hold at a 90-degree angle. You crank in on it and it aligns the poles inside, and there you go. So you can set this up and at whatever angle is nice for you, and you can weld your pieces solid. Now I've used it a couple times for tacking and welding a few things together. What makes me wonder is, as far as being able to hold stuff, if there's somebody in the neighborhood who could find with a surface grinder or whatever, or if you can get it paid to be done, whether it be worth it to surface grind these surfaces and then use it as a poor man's small piece magnetic chuck, or whatever, or have it trued up enough that I could use it on the mill. If any of you have actually used these on mills after cleaning them up or whatever, that'd be cool to know. But I mean, even so, just for tacking and welding, this is an awesome, and just for fixturing, for holding something, it's an awesome piece of gear. So yeah, I just, yeah, want to say thanks to my father-in-law for giving that one to me. I thought that was a pretty cool piece of gear. Now, one other thing that came in, actually just a couple, 3 weeks ago or whatever, is this thing. This here is an automatic boring facing head. This is a made in Taiwan BFH 250. It says here unknown 1-2 feed boring head. Yeah, the closest I can find is it looks like what was it, MSC? I think it's the states. The store down in the States is called, sells what's called the Interstate brand. And they have a larger one, which looks very similar to this. So I would suspect it would be out of the same factory. For those of you who haven't seen these things, they are really cool. I've been wanting one for a while, but they're just cost prohibitive. But basically, as what you can do is use it as a boring head, but also what it'll do is it'll also face outward from where it's sitting just by grabbing this ring. So as this is turning, there's a little click, 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 and as it's clicking, it's actually moving the tool holding block outward, so that you can actually set it about the height where you want to, say you just bored a hole and you want to make a flat counter bore just enough to, or face just to, set a bolt, on or whatever, for a washer seat or whatever. As this is turning, normally it'd be turning and you can't adjust a boring head while it's running. Well, if you hold this as the shaft's turning, it clicks. There's a little ratchet and pawl mechanism inside here. I partially disassembled to have a look at it and see how it worked. This one will only work in the forward direction. In order to reverse it, you have to get in this little 5mm hex here and spin it backwards to pull it back. Considering that the nice versions of these, the expensive versions, can go for thousands of dollars, and even the used Chandler duplexes, the ones that are 40 some odd years old, 50 some odd years old, are going for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So this one came up for a price that it was on the outside of my fun budget for the time being, but for and it was one of those buy it now, not an auction, so I jumped on it, and I'm glad I did, because I will need this some point in the near future for another project I'm doing for one of my buddies. So I thought that was pretty cool. I may not be doing a demonstration with it right now, but it will be used in projects in the near future, let me tell you. So I thought this was pretty cool. I've been wanting one for a while. I just didn't want to spend an arm and a leg on one. So they do occasionally come up. I've been, like I say, watching for a couple years. So now the next thing I wanted to show was just a little more detailed view of the picture of the brooch kit that my friend Norm gave me. Now, most of these brooches I did have from before. There was, I think, a 1/8 and a 3/16 or something brooch in the bottom here when he gave it to me. But this one here has has a number of brooch bushings. This is the one I made up a couple of weeks ago for making the pulley on the lathe, or on the shaper. This is one I made a couple of years ago to make some pulleys from Uncle Tim. So I added those, and a couple of these other small ones I added just from my collection from before. But yeah, it's like full collection of brooch bushings, all the way from some of these smaller ones, which I think are B's, up to, I think this is a C. Yeah, a number of C brooches, brooch bushings. Another one I made years ago. But yeah, the box, I want to fix up the box, take a little bit of the surface rust off, whatever. But it floored me when we were at a family function there, and he's sort of a he's family through family sort of thing, big friend of mine, appreciate him. And yeah, he says, we started talking about machining stuff, and talking about the shaper and about how you can broach things. And next thing you know, we're talking a bit, and he disappears, and he comes back with his box and says, "Here, I don't really use these anymore, so maybe you can make a use out of them. So again, thank you, Norm. This is a huge, this is a huge gift. I appreciate it. It's definitely already being used. So thanks, man. Now, the last thing I wanted to show here on this little, I guess it's a version of show and tell, is this. I was looking for a vise for the shaper, and I was thinking, okay, milling vise, you know, spend 170 bucks, 200 bucks, you know, I mean, I know that it's not as expensive here in Canada as it is in some places like New Zealand for machinery, even beat up old stuff, you know, like, you know, beat up old stuff for rebuilding. But, you know, even a milling vise, a 4-inch milling vise from one of the local import tool shops is 160, 170 bucks. Well, when I saw this at a garage sale, you know those things where you have to restrain and put a poker face on and not sound like a giddy little schoolgirl? Well, that was one of those moments. So this is an old school machining vise. And I mean, I see a little 0 on the side, so my suspicion is at one point, especially with this little journal in the middle, it may have been able to be mounted to a table to allow it to swivel. Whatever. For $8, it's fine. Now, it's a little rough here and there. I need to take the rust off of it, clean it up a bit. But considering the fact that it was $8, I'm willing to put the time into it. What I may do is I may even, on a video, one of the videos down the road, show fixing it up and, you know, stripping the paint. I think I'm probably going to go with the same gray as the shaper just to make it match. It's, you know, it looks period, you know, matching. So it looks almost like it could belong. Paint's dinged up on it anyway. Take some of the surface rust off. Now, one thing I found fascinating is it says on there, property of Peregrine Machine Works. Now, judging by the age, judging by how much, you know, like how much paint is dinged off of it, a little bit of surface rust, whatever, I would question whether this Peregrine Machine Works is even still in existence around here. I found one on the internet somewhere down near Seattle, but I mean, they're into way different stuff than this. So it's, yeah, I don't know. One way or another, I think it's a pretty cool find. It looks like it should fit, and you know, again, it's a 4-inch wide, so it shouldn't take up too much table space. I already checked the spacing on the T-slots to the holes, so it'll fit on the table. Like I say, I think I'll make a project out of this to clean it up and restore it so I can use it on the shaper. And then, like I say, I'm just very tickled because I didn't have to spend another $170 I didn't need to. So, anyway, it came with this little handle, blue handle. It's there. It's a 9/16 square inside, which is the same as this handle here. This is a 9/16 as well. This is the one that came with my shaper, but it's obviously not the correct handle simply because the shaper squares are 1/2 inch, not 9/16. But seeing as it fits this, I'll just leave this in the same toolbox as this, which will all be shaper related equipment. So yeah, that's I thought that was pretty cool. You know, find that at a garage sale for $8. So yeah, that just figured I'd give a quick little update of some of the cool new gear that's come in. Again, most of the stuff I have is pretty plain, so you know, if you find this sort of stuff interesting, that's fine. If not, I take no offense if you don't watch or if you fast forward. That's totally cool. As well, I wanted to open up the draw for the 5,000 sub giveaway. Again, 1 to 2 and 0 to 1 micrometer, both are up for grabs as a package deal. They go to one winner. Get your name in if you want to in on that contest. Again, don't have to be a subscriber. Just email me. If you've already emailed me your name, it's still in the bin. So if your name is still in the bin, you just want to email and say hi and catch up, I'm cool with that too. But one other thing I just figured I'd let you all know too. I recently started a part-time job. I'm working at a heavy truck place for a friend of mine. Well, we do automotive too, heavy duty stuff. So, I mean, I'm kind of working automotive right now. But yeah, technically we're licensed to do everything from a smart car to a Super B transport truck. So, as a business, I'm still working on most of the car stuff and truck stuff, small truck. But so because I got a part-time job now, as well as chasing Munchkin and just trying to keep up with family and community stuff, I will try to keep up with the videos on a reasonably regular basis. But like I said before, I can't really guarantee weekly. But there will be stuff coming. I'm not quitting. So and anyway, I just want to say thanks to everybody for subscribing. Thanks for the likes, the thumbs up, the comments. Even if you aren't subscribed, thanks for coming by. Thank you for commenting, and like I say, I hope you find this stuff interesting, because this is what I do for fun. So yeah, thanks again. I'll see you all next time.